Analog cameras
Yep. Analog cameras.
and dinosaur books.
You're a camera guy.
Yes,
Aren't
I
you,
am.
Larry? You're
Yes.
a big time camera guy.
Well,
Hi, everybody.
my cameras I have are not big time. My whole photography career has been based on having the cheapest, lamest cameras and doing wonderful things with them.
Before we get started, you're a sexy hermit.
I'm Sexy Hermit.
I'm Kevin, and this is Larry.
Larry.
Larry's not feeling so well.
Nope, I'm a little sick today.
But he's going to tell us about.
But he still made it.
I still made it.
Tell us about analog cameras.
Man, they started a long time ago. People don't even realize how old cameras are. 1840s.
Well,
That's an
now
old
everybody's
time.
just
Time.
pure digital, right?
Everybody's digital now.
Yep.
Mostly.
Just checking our
Hence
phones.
our topic tonight, analog camera.
Yep. Well, I have a brand new analog camera. These I hear are the thing in Japan. Like this is a Fuji Mini 90 camera,
Mini 90.
right?
What does the 90 mean?
I have no idea. But it's a Polaroid camera,
Polaroid.
Polaroid like.
and we'll do it's a Polaroid like camera. So right now I'm gonna spend about $1.
Sweet.
Gee, back in the day, that would be $1.75.
Were they that
Check
much?
this. It's popping out
It does one of those.
a film,
things.
a little piece of Polaroid film. If anybody actually knows what those are, Polaroid was a self-developing sheet of film that would pop out. Now, luckily, I have used, and this will develop in about 5
while.
minutes,
5 minutes.
approximately.
Well, when they first came out, the Polaroids came out, you actually had to do, you had to actually squeegee chemicals on it to do the fixer.
Really?
Yeah, you had to, it wasn't automatic, you had to do it. You had to peel off this, you had to peel the plastic off.
Yep.
Then you had to take this little
Sounds familiar.
squeegee thing and dip it in the chemical, and you had to go boop, 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 because my dad made me do it all the time. So the ones we're used to are the ones that come out and you look at it and you see it develop. But back in the day, you had to peel like a banana skin off of it, and then you had to chemically do something with it.
Now, what would you rub on that?
It was a fixer, I believe,
Okay.
so that basically the fixer would make it permanent.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, back in the day, what a lot of people did was you would take before you put the fixer on it, you would manipulate the camera, the shot.
Right.
You could use Q-tips, you could use toothpicks, you could use your finger if you decided you didn't care about cancer.
So if you were manipulating the shot, you would try to color it a different way, or
You would distort it.
distort it.
There was
okay.
a lot of distorted photographs. I gave like glowing golden eyes and people, and
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I was pretty good with the Polaroid camera to create hoaxes when I
Oh,
was
okay.
young. That was one of my goals, and when I was in 8th grade, was to create as many hoaxes as
Mm-hmm.
I could. And a Polaroid camera really
hilarious.
added that, before the Photoshop, before you could digitally alter everything and make a hoax. You could do it with the Polaroid, and you would go, "How could I have done this? I did
did it
so
with
many.
a Polaroid."
I did so many UFO pictures
That's
and stuff like
hilarious.
that in my backyard. There was a UFO visiting me every week.
Do you have any? Do you still have any of them?
I did, but they eventually, Polaroids do last for a long time, but
They do fade.
they do fade and they smell, and that's the problem with Polaroids. They stink.
These don't smell.
Well, this is new high-tech Polaroid.
I don't smell these at all.
Yeah, this is the going back to basics camera where you just don't take 200 pictures with your phone or your camera. You got to really line it up, take a picture, and
Is
it
this
might
that
be a bad
important?
one.
Is it really that important, this picture? Yeah, you got to really
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, like because I'm gonna blow like basically $1. This is Ken's picture. It's amazing, but it's not very
Still
good.
coming in.
Yeah, still coming in. It
It's
might
kinda
be
blown
okay.
out.
But
That's
yeah,
the
this.
thing with these. They really have yet to figure out the exposure settings on these things.
Well, I
Because this
think-
always happened with Polaroids way back. People were either way
Well,
blown out.
you just had to know how to
or-
do it. You couldn't do it with obviously that picture was taken and the light was behind you, so created a
Sure,
shadow. You
but
had
this
to
was
flip it
taken
around.
with the proper flash and whatever, and it still blew me out.
Yeah, Polaroids aren't the greatest. I mean, I'm sure this product here is not designed to produce beautiful
Maybe it's a
pictures.
setting.
It's
Maybe there's a setting.
probably designed to make ID cards or business kind of photos that you're tracking.
Well, people would have these things like, remember back in the day where you would have cameras, like little 35, little cameras that you would have to then take all the pictures of all your friends at the wedding, and then they would collect all the cameras and print off all the pictures.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
it's common
Yeah.
now, people will take these to parties and take a bunch of pictures of all their friends and give them a little picture before
That's
they
cool.
leave. Okay, so here's how it works. You got the camera, and you pop open the door, and I'm going to take the old cartridge out, and I'm going to insert another one. Right? Now, this might be a little difficult to
Does
open
this
up.
smell? I wonder if this smells.
I don't know. Let's try it out.
Yeah, they smell pretty bad historically.
Oh,
These
yeah,
are
it
much
smells.
smaller.
Is that the smell? No, you don't want to smell it. Okay, you're like, I know what it smells
I
like.
know. I've had enough Polaroids in my life.
see.
I still have 30-year-old Polaroids hanging on my refrigerator.
And
know.
you're scarred by this smell. You sure you don't want to
get
smell
close to it and you smell it and you're like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
it? Do I really
Especially
have
if
to?
you have like a photo album with Polaroids and you open up that book and oh my god, it smells.
So here you go. I'm going to insert the film, if I can get it in there correctly. Now there's a cover over this. I'm going to drop it in.
Like a glove.
It doesn't sound very good. Like I didn't do it right. Okay, well, that's a problem with analog. Jesus.
Seems right.
Does it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It worked last time. Let me pull it out. Okay. We're
There you
sliding.
go.
This is the only second time I've put this in.
I think
doesn't sound
it's got to
good.
go the other way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think so because this is the.
See, we're confused
Oh,
already.
we got it
Yeah,
already.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me
'Cause
try
if
this.
If that's the business end of the
Oh,
lens, you got to give it.
Thank
the,
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. That
There you
makes
go.
sense.
Polaroid Instamax. Let me close it and then watch. It'll spit the cover. Yeah.
They always
Fuji.
spit the cover out first. Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, that's the show. That tells you that
It's working.
that it's working. That's the traditional. Now, didn't the real Polaroid company, they went out of business, did they not?
Yeah, and I think they were bought by some Chinese company. You can buy a Polaroid camera now that is bigger format than the Fuji Instamax. This is like about 2 inches by 3 inches.
Too small. That's my product
kinda tiny.
advice. That's too small.
You don't
I
like
always
it?
wanted the Polaroids to be bigger.
Good for an ID though.
Yeah.
I mean, if like
Yeah.
you say, it's for an ID purpose. That's sure. That's great. That'll work.
Well, what I do, I take every picture I take, I put the date on the picture, and I'm slowly assembling them up. And I'm going to keep them as cool little pictures.
That's
right?
cool.
And people will be able to say, "Hey, that was Ken on, March 12th or whatever it is."
12th.
Right? Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Cool.
Analog, dude. I'm trying to go analog instead of digital.
That's cool.
Right? I don't have to look at a phone. I'm trying to minimize my screen time.
Right.
That's what this analog camera is
More
for.
film time, less screen time.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, I remember buying the Polaroid film, and they sold it in 10 packs.
Right.
And you would spend $12 for back in the day. You could spend $12 and you'd get 10 pictures. And today, that just sounds ludicrous, because you can get so many, pictures done on the digital. I mean, you could do 2,000 pictures in 3 hours if
Yeah.
you wanted to,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And that blows me away because I remember just having that Polaroid camera and
Being happy to have
being
10
happy
shots
to
of
have 10
something, yeah,
shots and
yeah.
plotted every picture out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, oh, I took a picture, I only got 7 more now, I got to make the other ones count. And if you made a bad mistake, you lost, you were out $1, over
I
$1.
remember going on vacations with my parents, having like a 24, the 110s. You remember the 110?
Yeah, the
little tiny
110s.
rolls. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
I had a 110 camera with 24 or 36 if I really felt like spending the extra couple of bucks.
Well, that's more than the 10 shots that you got from the Polaroid.
Yeah,
The
yeah, for
Polaroid
sure.
limited you. That definitely
right.
limited you.
That was like a week.
But you had the picture
for
immediately.
kids'
You got the picture immediately, despite its low quality. You got the picture immediately.
Right.
And my problem is I would like to cut them up when I was a kid, and then inside there is the layers of the chemicals inside, and they would always ooze out. So it's a wet photo when you start cutting. The chemicals start
Really?
oozing out, so I don't recommend cutting them.
I haven't done that yet.
Good.
Is
Well,
it
these are
still
small enough
liquidy
that
in
you
there?
don't have to cut.
Still liquidy in there?
Yeah, it's still liquidy in there. They're always, I'm assuming that it's the same technology.
Probably.
All
It
right.
does look. It has gotten better as time has passed. But
Wow, I didn't know there was liquid in there.
Well, it's some sort of chemical that's in there, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, some sort of chemical that's reactive to light, and there's since you don't have to put the fixer on it, there's some sort of
Yep.
sheath that's over it, because that's how you would mess with the camera. You would, because there's a point where the photo was liquidy, and that's when you can
Yep.
manipulate the image.
Yep.
So
it's got to be a rehash of just the old stuff. 'Cause
Well,
it took about as long.
Yeah,
You
it's-
know, it
it's
doesn't
the
seem
old-
like it went any faster.
Right.
Like they upped the frequency.
Well, the original Polaroids were only in black and white. I remember that when
Yep.
they were all just black and white Polaroids.
Yep.
Yep.
My dad.
My dad had a movie camera. We had like an 8mm movie camera, silent. We were running around the neighborhood with that, shooting stupid stuff with my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When it really counted what you took a picture of.
We were just, yeah. The film wasn't terribly expensive, and for kids it was enough. But yeah, we just, it was 3 minutes. That's all you got.
Right.
It was a 3-minute cartridge, no sound.
Yep.
Yeah, I still got that stuff around somewhere. I put it on a DVD.
Yeah, and I sound silly too. I digitalized all my Polaroid pictures at one
Yeah?
point about maybe 20 years ago when I first started digitalizing stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I took all my Polaroid pictures and scanned them, and it's pretty silly to do because the quality even gets worse when you do that.
Yeah,
Right.
really. Yeah. If you still had them, you could take digital pictures, and they'd be pretty good now, probably. As good or better.
So as I do this, I slowly go around and I trade pictures with people. I take a couple, whenever we have events,
Yeah.
a little situation going on, is I take a couple pictures and I give them to them. And then
It's a good gift.
I tell them like, hey, if you want to see me again sometime, bring your pictures and we'll do a little trading, right? I'll give you a different one of you, but I'm taking a couple of you and a couple of me at this little thing we're doing.
That's cool.
And, you know, I'll give them a little memento for their day.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, you know, this selfie thing. They make it sound like it's a new thing, but I would, you know, in 8th and 9th grade, I would take the Polaroid camera and just do selfies of me. I have so many selfies of me
Yeah.
before selfies were cool. I guess
Yeah.
you know,
You had
that
to be
was-
really good. I remember being pretty good at getting selfies in college with like the disposable cameras. Plus, I got long enough arms to get like 4 people in the shot. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'd frame it with not even looking. I could get 4 people framed perfect.
Selfies. I was in New York City a while ago, and I've been traveling around to these various cities, and inevitably, when you're at these sites, you know, you'll see somebody who's doing a selfie with themselves. And when I was in New York, I spent like an hour and a half. All I did is walk around and say, "Oh, let me do that for you," right? And normally a lot of these people were people from other countries, right? And they would, these girls in particular, right? Some of them were guys. I wasn't, you know, but they would just they would start out and I'd be like, that's not really the pose you want, right? And they would be like, oh, you're right. And then they would just like, you know, whatever like extreme selfie pose you're expecting them
Because
to
they
get
got somebody
into.
to hold the camera.
Right, they
now.
were like, they were just happy as heck, right? And
It's not a selfie.
that's
I was
not a
photographed.
selfie. I was photographed. Right? They're in
Photographed.
front of like the big fountain or the
Yeah, yeah,
Statue
yeah.
of Liberty or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I've done that. I've made a bunch of people happy because they didn't have to have some weird selfie.
They
stick.
got a dude to hold the camera.
Yeah, I got a dude to hold the camera.
That I remember in the '90s, you never did that in Europe, man. All these Europeans would come up. Let me take the picture for you.
Yeah,
And
They
then
would.
take the picture. Then they run with your camera.
They would then run with your
steal your
camera.
camera and
That
sell it
happened
at the
all the
pawn
time,
shop
yeah.
and make $25.
Cameras were.
Yeah.
Cameras were expensive, and
Yeah.
that was the big thing because there was people. That's all they did. They'd
I'd
scam.
worry somebody would run off with my phone. I don't think I'd just let.
I know, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's like,
they
really?
weren't concerned at all.
Yeah,
You know, but I was like,
you totally look like a con man.
well, perhaps. Well, I was thinking to myself, perhaps I should go there with the analog camera, and I'd be like, oh wait, I've got a better selfie
I've
for
got a
you.
better one for you.
Yeah, I'd be like, I can make you a picture right now, right?
But you can't post it.
You can't.
Take a picture of it.
You
Take a
can-
picture
you
of
can
the
take a
picture
picture
to
of a
post
Take
picture.
a picture,
Yeah.
post it. Perfect sense.
Yeah. Going
Oh.
to analog. It's the only way to do it.
Analog cameras, man. I wish they still sold the film.
Well,
They do.
you can get a Polaroid.
35
Get
millimeter. You can still
Polaroid.
get 35.
Oh, you
can't
can?
Yeah, I guess, right? People still
It's,
shoot
who
35.
develops it these days? They used to
I don't
have,
know.
the
Yeah,
1
To
hour.
send it off to
The 1 hour
China,
development.
probably.
You have to send it to China for them
Yeah.
to develop. It's not 1 hour anymore. It's,
Yeah.
Remember when they had the MSU riots, Michigan State University
Yeah.
riots?
Yeah.
And you know how they caught all the people that were in the riots?
Oh, I remember.
They went
do.
to Meyer
I
Thrifty
remember that.
Acres.
Yeah.
The local large store, the grocery store,
yeah.
with your own camera
Midwest
developer.
Walmart.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Midwest Walmart, and
But better.
they got from Myers the
They
film.
laid it down. They said, "Yeah, give us anybody that's brought in film in the last whatever
Of the riot.
That was, but how did they know? They didn't know what anybody's stuff was. They looked at who knows. I don't. That was.
many-
I remember that. That was illegal. That was.
Yeah,
BS.
they took
I remember
people's
that.
film
Yeah.
from Myers.
Yeah.
And they found the people that were
Yeah.
in the riots.
After looking through who knows how many other people's pictures of who knows what is
Right.
It's pure violation.
Yeah.
Absolute violation.
That was East Lansing for you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Was that Robin Williams movie? Boy, he worked at the 1 hour films.
Oh yeah.
and he got to
that was
see
a weird
everybody.
film.
Oh, really?
Sounds
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to see everybody's photos and everything.
What movie was that?
1 hour photo.
1 hour photo.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
it was
really?
called.
Something
yeah.
like that.
I saw some of it. It was creepy as hell.
It's creepy. He played creepies.
He was,
Oh, did
he was
he?
good at creepy.
Yeah, he was
He
good.
was just good.
Yeah. So yeah, that the person who used to work those, I would always like interview them when I was young in high school, and I would say, so you see all these pictures? How many baby pictures have you seen? How many naked butts have you seen? How many?
And what did they say?
And they go, we see everything. They claim that.
Yeah.
I remember talking to them because, I was always taking pictures.
Did they ever
of it.
keep pictures for themselves?
I think they did.
They probably did.
Yeah.
I think they had to,
Probably
just
did.
like Robin Williams did in that movie.
Yeah.
you know?
He did?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he had a
was
whole
a-
wall. He
he
was
had-
like, he was obsessed with everybody and like was into their families and knew too much about everybody.
Oh, my
Because
Lord,
he was the guy who watched. Because
Yeah.
those
He had no
machines,
life of his own.
those
and
machines
lived
actually
everybody
printed
else's
out all
life.
the photos, and they would go past the. They had to be cut and they had to be,
Right.
looked
Yeah,
at.
cleaned up, et cetera,
It's so. Those people just had so much information in their hands. About people's lives.
Yeah,
So that was a good idea for a movie.
It
I have to
was.
say.
Yeah.
Analog cameras.
but showed up just in time because like 5 years later, those places were barely even around.
That's
Yeah,
what
there's
I'm
no
going.
more-
Yeah.
Going analog.
No more 1 hour photography anymore.
Yep.
No more
Interesting.
1 hour.
Well, that's good. Analog cameras. We'll
Yep.
see how it works out. I'll report back
Okay,
how things are going with my analog camera experience.
that does sound good.
Yeah.
That's
like-
what happened next.
That's what happens next.
That's what happens next.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Perfect. All right.